helping families around our state create a good home, a clean home, an organized home. But the name of her company is A Good Home.
She's going to be joining Marcia Jones live every Monday this month for some organizing tips you can use at your house. Today, we're trying to whip the kitchen into shape. Get it? Whip. We're whipping with a whip.
Yeah.
Marcy, good morning.
Good morning. We're going to whip it real good, as Devo would say. I'm here with, I'm sure that sounded so weird out of context. She can't hear what we were talking about. He said we're going to whip the kitchen into shape, all right? She's standing here like, what? I thought this was a family show. We are doing some spring cleaning, some organizing. We are letting go of what no longer suits our needs and really making everything a little bit more functional, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we spent last week, I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted by the chickens outside. I'm like trying to keep an eye on them as if I could do anything about them. They're so funny too. I love this home. All right, so last week we did the pantries. This week we're moving on to the drawers, you know, spice rack, utensils. We've got that water bottle area that gives everybody a little anxiety.
Right.
Let's show everyone your handiwork and how you organize this.
Absolutely. So,
Wow, big difference.
very quickly, we just matched the bases with the tops and lined them in single file order. These drawer dividers, which you might recognize from last week.
Those are so nice. Adjustable.
They're adjustable, so they can, you know, change around as the space needs change. And they provide stability. These are extra deep, and so they provide stability to the water bottles.
Because it's all well and good when you organize them, but then once you shut the drawer, they all fall over. You have to do your work again.
That's exactly right. And then we could have added another drawer divider here, but I actually wanted to just show another possible option is to have these kind of plastic inserts that run the length of the drawer.
Yes. I love that. All right, so we're moving on. We kind of just touched upon it, but supplies. So supplies can really help you stay organized. Not that you need to go out and buy a ton of stuff, but it does help you kind of keep everything streamlined.
It does, yes. Once the layout is determined, we can then move on to materials. And materials both create and support the systems that we're creating in the kitchen.
Right.
So for instance,
we want to think about our routines, what we do every morning.
that's right. So this is like a little bit a part of the morning routine zone that we have going on here. You have easy access to your mugs, close proximity to the small appliance here. And then for loose items that you might keep in this cabinet here, we have just these very simple bins that allow you to quickly grab kind of like
And you can see
your
what you're
coffee
getting.
supplies.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the same goes for tea up here. We have actually like a tea organizer itself where the bags are individually inserted. And then we have a turntable, which is really like a hero product in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It really
I know.
is.
That helps a lot with condiments, with medicines, with really anything that you've got a lot of different varieties, but not so many of each item. It's really nice that you can kind of like turn those around and put them all in one
Exactly.
space.
Yes. The turntable is very accessible. You're allowed to, you know, it allows you to take up most of the cabinet while still providing accessibility.
Yes, do they still call them Lazy Susan?
I think it's like a little bit. The turntable is the
I
modern
always felt
version.
bad for Susan. What if she's really fit and cool and ambitious and we're calling her lazy every day?
That's right. Turntables it is.
I love that. All right, so we've got one to just kind of show how else you can use them for cleaning products, right? A little bit down below.
Yep. So the under sink is a great example of where a turntable is useful. There's typically lots of cleaning and household products under the sink. And so again, the turntable kind of makes things very accessible while also being able to store.
You don't have to get down on your hands and knees and really root around.
Exactly.
Now, cleaning products, I feel like, are one of those things that's easy to kind of collect over time because you're like, oh, it doesn't matter if they expire. They're just there. Speaking of clutter, in the kitchen, it's very easy to get your hands on a gadget, whether it's a gift or something that you purchase, and then leave it out, and then it collects dust or whatnot. So is that a pet peeve of yours? I would imagine being an organizer it is.
A little bit. Whenever I'm working with a client, I'm never, ever making a client get rid of something that they don't
love or
want
that they
to.
use.
Exactly. But getting organized and decluttering, which is a very important step, requires a certain level of honesty with yourself. I always say you get out of the process what you put into it.
Yes.
And so I think there tends to be categories where there's a little bit more accumulation. Things like gadgets that maybe a knife could take care of. Lots of small appliances, you know, you think I'm going to use it and then you never do. So organizing is the time to really be honest and evaluate.
And think
your
about
habits.
what you use every day or multiple times a day. You don't want to be going in and out grabbing that all the time. So maybe something that suits you doesn't suit somebody else, but that's where the customization comes in.
Exactly. Yeah. Organization is extremely personal.
I love that. All right, so we've got a little sneak peek of what to expect next week. Where are we going to be?
So we're going to be in a playroom next week.
Oh my God.
Which
That causes a lot of headaches for a lot of families, I know.
it does, but we're going to show you some tips, tricks, and really useful advice to kind of corral the supplies in that space.
And probably curb that need to just buy another basket and throw it all in there, right? I'm
Yes.
sure you've seen it all when it comes to kids' playrooms.
Yes, absolutely. It's a dense area, to say the least.
That's such a lovely way of saying chaotic, right? Oh my
right.
gosh. So if people want to get in touch with you, learn how they can have a meeting with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can follow me on @goodhome on Instagram or goodhomect.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chelsea. I can't wait until next Monday. Guys, sending it over to you.
All right, thanks, Mars. Really some great stuff, including that lazy Susan underneath the
know.
sink. Oh my gosh.
Game
I love-
changer.
Game changer.